Hello and welcome to the studio where we paint away the stress of everyday life here in Wales. And today we got Storm Francis hitting Wales, and it's quite a windy old wet old day out there, so I thought let's do something warm. So without further ado, let's have a look at the palette like I normally do, and let's just get straight on to the painting.
It's time to learn with our friend Clive. So grab your brush, have a great time. And don't forget to click subscribe.
As you can see, I've got a selection of brushes which I'll go through very quickly in 1 second. I've got some cadmium red, some cadmium yellow, some Prussian blue, and a touch of titanium white. Now I might put a bit of black on the palette. I haven't quite decided yet, but we'll see how it goes. So the brushes I'm going to be using today is there's a three-quarter square. There's a number 15 flat. There's a number 10. Is that a filbert? It looks like a filbert. Is a script lining brush and a couple of fan brushes. Now the difference between flats and squares is depending where you live in the world. We know them as short flats or flats, and I think in the USA they know them as squares. I'm not too sure, but I know it's slightly different in the UK. But there we go. I've got a brand new fan brush there. I thought I'd show you how to use these for blending. These are quite cheap. This is the Royal range, and that you'll find in the range, and they're only a couple of pound each. So you know they're worth picking up. They all work well. I've got some water in my palette. I've got a dirty space for some of my dirty water. I got some clean water there to rinse my brushes. I've got some soap, and I've got my little rack there which I put my brushes in after I've washed them. I've got some medium mix in a little container there. This is available at www.clive5art.co.uk. I need to buy some more of that, so rush along to the shop to get that. I've got a little fine mist bottle, and there we go. So I'm just going to pick up this short flat square short flat. Doesn't matter what you call it, does it? It doesn't really matter. No, of course it doesn't. Let's get some white. Let's get some white, titanium white over, and just the smallest amount of yellow. Only a touch, just to lighten that off, and maybe a little bit more than that. Now don't forget, if you're a subscriber and you want to catch me every Monday at Greenwich Mean Time, 7:30, that's London time, on a Monday, then you need to click the subscribe button. Don't forget to click the subscribe button. Like 70% of people that watch my videos have not subscribed, and it's really good if you could do that for me, because it helps the channel grow and helps me, but encourages me to put even more content out there. And if you're already a subscriber, which I know loads and loads of those, and over 100,000, nearly 187,000 people, I think it is, something like that now, I can't remember, I've subscribed already to the channel. And for that I'm greatly appreciated. And don't forget to click the notification bells on your phone, on your tablet, on your smart device, or in YouTube itself, because if you haven't clicked that, then you won't get notified of my uploads, and that's an important thing. And don't forget, if you want to join me on memberships is an area where you pay just for a small amount to become a member, and then you get extra content that you won't see on the public domain like YouTube. There's extra content in there, behind the scenes. There's live chats. There's extra full lessons that I won't do on YouTube. So if you want to pop along there, don't forget to click the join button. Just have a little look. Costs nothing to have a look to see what's on offer, and that's the most important thing. So we've put a little bit of yellow. Put a bit of yellow in that sky. Put a bit of yellow. Let's just. It looks a little bit white. I know. It looks a bit white. So I'm just going to clean my brush. There we go. And I'm just going to pick up the other short flat. Now I'm going to pick up a little bit of yellow into there and touch, just a touch of red, a little bit at a time. There we go. I want to make it like a pinky orange. A nice orange. There we go. Tell you what I could have put on my palette. Could have put a nice burnt umber on my palette maybe. Maybe we'll add some burnt umber to the palette in a second. But before we do that, let's just see how this works first. And I'm brushing like this, like an X. Brushing like an X. There we go. Just blending that colour in, smoothing those edges off. And this is where the little mister bottle comes in, like that. So what we need to do now, we need to increase this orange, make this orange a little darker. We don't want to go too dark too quick. Don't want to go too dark too quick. It's a little bit dark, add a little bit of yellow to it, like that. You're not going to spoil anything. And we'll just add a little bit of, don't forget the crisscross, 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 crisscross. Just like that, a little blend. Get those harsh lines. You don't want any harsh lines. See that harsh line there? You don't want that. You want to blend that in. And what I'm doing is lifting the pressure off my brush and just very lightly caressing the canvas like that. Imagine getting the brush and just touching your skin like that, tickling it. Just tickle your skin. Tickle the canvas. You need to tickle the canvas until it laughs. If it laughs, it'll work for you. It will. I'm not lying. You can trust me. It's got that little peachy type of sky. There we go. A little bit more yellow in there. Let's just put a little bit of a glow just by there, like that. Let's get that bit of a glow in there. We can add a little bit more to this in a second. I want to increase the warmth of the sky. Just a touch, just a small touch to that Prussian blue look. That's just going to darken that orange up enough, like that. A little bit of a squirt with our misty bottle. So it's only a small touch. It just turns it to a purpley type of orange. That's what we're looking for, is that nice sunset, sunrise type of look into this sky like that. Oh, look at that. Lovely colours. Lovely colours. Let's get this in there. Let's get a little bit more red to that. A bit more orange. A bit more yellow, I should say. Make it a bit more orange. That's what I meant to say. And today I'm just painting on a piece of cardboard, because wonderful things to practice on, and you're not wasting a lot of time and money. You might have some poster paints, or you might have some cheap acrylics, and you just want to try and learn out a few different techniques without committing yourself to expensive materials and expensive canvases, because let's be honest, we could all do with saving a few bob, couldn't we? We could. Life's too short. We need to save some money sometimes. So let's put in a bit more yellow into that sky, lifting the sky out, just like that. So we've got a nice background. Now what I'm going to do is, I think I'm going to just wash my brush very quickly, because I don't want to contaminate this. I'm going to get a bit of white. I want to bring a bit more white. I want to bring a bit of a glow in to the base of this. There you go, like that. And I'm using a wet palette today, and using a wet palette and the mister bottle, and making sure that your canvas is gessoed. That's a gesso on there. Then it's going to help with the drying of your paints, and that's what we all struggle with acrylics, is the drying of the paints. So if you follow some simple steps like a wet palette, a mister bottle, and a little bit of retarder maybe in the paint, and gesso your canvas, trust me, I'm not lying, you will have a lot more enjoyment out of acrylics. So, back into some red. I'm going to get a little bit of Prussian blue. There we go. I want to make this nice dark colour. A bit more yellow maybe. A bit more yellow maybe. And now, I'm just going to just come in maybe with a loose type of mountain shape like this. Let's bring it across there like that. I'm going to put another bit there like that. Getting a bit of yellow. I'm just bringing a bit of light down there like that. Getting a bit more dark. So I'm going to put in dark on one side of the brush and light on the other side of the brush. So put light on that side of the brush, dark on that side of the brush. So you've got two brushes in one. Isn't that clever? But you've got to remember what side of the brush you're going to be painting with. Otherwise you could make mistakes. So we could bring the dark side down like that. There you go. And then you could bring the light side in. Just like that. Just bring it down there like that. Don't forget to make sure that you're using the right side of the brush. And just have fun. That's what it's all about. Having fun in the studio. A little bit of red. A little bit of Prussian blue. Let's make this a little bit darker. Let's get a bit more. There we go. It's a little bit dark, that one. I tell you what, I was thinking of something totally different then. And this, when we do things like that, we don't worry about making little boo-boos. This is what I call them, little boo-boos. Little boo-boos in the studio. It's not a problem, is it? Let's be honest. Little boo-boos. We can all make little mistakes sometimes. A little small amount of Prussian blue, because you can see that, because I put a little bit too much Prussian blue on that one. I only want a small bit. There we are. Just want to darken this orange up. Small speck. I'll use that colour now in a second. I got plans for that one. There we are. Just add a little bit of that to that. A little bit of that to that. Just darken that up a little bit more. There we are. And let's just we could put another little run in front like that. Maybe it's another little hillside or a valley that we will see in Wales. Because we keep it welcome in the hillside, we keep it welcome in the Vale. We do. The Vale is not far where I live, actually. I live in the Vale, Glamorgan. So we need to bring a little bit of shadow in, just like that. I'm not too worried about you, because there's going to be a lot of trees and things there. So we're going to hide a multitude of sins in a second. Let's get a little bit of this lighter colour. I'm going to get a bit of that light colour over there. Use the other side of the brush and just maybe just put a little bit of a sparkle in there like that. Bringing that down there. Get the darker side of the brush. I get some more of this hillside coming in like that. There you go. Whew. Just have fun. Make it up as you go along. I'm making this up as I go along. This has just started to develop. There you go. Just a few little mountain sides that you'll see around Wales. Let's just get a little bit of white. I want to sparkle that up just a touch. I want to brighten up a couple of areas on here. There we go. Let's just get a little bit of white there. Let's just sparkle that up a bit more. There, like that. Maybe the light is just catching these mountains and sparkling away like that. Just have fun. There you go. Bring in a bit of contrast in there like that. There you go. We can put some clouds in the sky just to bring it back to life. So what I thought I would do now is pick up this. Well, we did say I've lost my brushes. All my brushes have fallen in my pot there. So I got a little tiny Filberts. I didn't. I thought I was going to use what brush did I was going to use? I don't know. I'm gonna have to get another brush. I tell you what we'll do. We'll use this little Filbert. We will use this Filbert. There we go. Use this little Filbert. I'll get some white. Get some white and a little bit of yellow. And let's just put a bit more yellow. I want to put a bit more yellow in that. I want to make it really yellow. A bit more yellow. Just play. Just play with this and just roll it around like that. Make it all fluffy and duffy. Make it loose, lifting the pressure off the brush and get your finger in if you wanted to. There you go. Use a bit of dry brush. You can wipe the paint off the brush. Just put some cloud cover in like that. Yeah, you don't have to put a lot of paint. You don't have to put a lot of paint on your brush to get effects like this. Just dry brush it where you can. Like that. I can hear the wind howling out there. Ooh, what a horrible day it is today. I'm getting a bit of cloud coming across the top of the mountains. There we go. And just experiment when you're doing things like this. These lessons are just about having fun. There's some people that I know that follow me and they're on memberships because they've clicked that join button. Don't forget, if you want to be a member, click the join button. And they've said to me that, you know, they just like to paint. They're not there to sell things or anything like that. Some people like to sell paintings and things, and that's all good. But if you're like me and you just want to paint to relax, then sometimes doing something as simple as this is all you need to do. Just put a little bit of that little glint of loose mackerel type of sky just over these mountains like this. And you can go to town. Do as much as you want or as little as you want. It's entirely up to you what you do. It really is. And you could put a little bit of glow behind these mountains if you wanted to get a little bit of white. You could put a little bit of glow just come in behind those mountains like that, like as if the sun maybe just rising or setting. Who knows? I don't know. This is your world. You make it up as you go along, and you decide where you want to put some light and dark, and you decide what time of day it is. Because I certainly don't know. So I'm going to get this little tiny fan brush there. So let's get into this like purpley colour. There we go. Let's get a little bit of white into that. You can see it's kind of like a dirty browny type of mucky colour, but it's quite nice actually. That's nice for some trees and things that I got in mind. And I don't mind it going a little bit green because, as I said, these are going to be little trees that I got planned. I just want to darken that up a bit more. I'm just going to put a few. I'm just drawing down very lightly, like this. Just putting a few little dips and dobs in like that. Let's get a bit more yellow. A little bit lighter there. Maybe a couple of the trees are catching a bit of light. Only lines. That's all you need to do. Just don't think about worry about anything else. Just draw a couple of lines. Right, look. Get a little bit of darker colour back in there. We need a bit of depth in there, so let's just darken that up. Just draw a few lines, make them a little bit bigger in the places. There we go. This gives it a bit of depth. And then what we could do, we could grab this big brush, a bit more Prussian blue now. Let's just get a little bit of yellow in there. I want to make it like a dark green. This is a lovely green. If I put that there, like that, and get a little bit of white to it, you can see it's a lovely green. There we go. So cadmium yellow and Prussian blue makes a lovely green. It's a bit like a viridian green then. It's very much like a viridian green. So if I'm going to need viridian green, just practice mixing some colours. And then just come down like this. There we go. Trees everywhere. And get some blue in there now and just bang this in like that. This could be a big forest, couldn't it? Be a big forest. There's some big trees in there. Big trees in there. I got some white on my brush now. I shouldn't have got white on my brush. Doesn't matter. We'll sort that out in a minute. That was a mistake. That is definitely a mistake because I didn't want to put. I certainly didn't want to put white on my brush. But there we are. Don't worry. We'll live with it. We will live with that. Let's put a couple of fir trees in and use the edge of the brush and get a couple of fir trees in like that. Let's put another one there. There we go. Get some blue in there. Because we haven't got any black, so I didn't want to put black in. I wanted to make it more blue and green. There you go. Could make a bit more Van Gogh-y, I suppose, couldn't we? We could put some blue and white in there. It doesn't matter what it is. Just put some lines down like that. There we are. Let's go for it. Nobody says a painting has to be pretty. A painting doesn't have to be pretty. It just has to look the part. Okay, I'm going to let that dry a second. I'm just going to clean my brush. And as I said, this is just a lesson you can have a go at. It is. Don't be afraid to try new stuff. I'm going to a bit of yellow. A nice orange colour. Because we're going to put a big rock just there, like this. Big rock. Orange against the blue. Let's get some of this darker colour we had. There we go. I just want to darken that edge up. Just play with colour. Play with what you've got. Play with what you've got. Like that. Just have fun. And then if you've got one of these cards, and you've seen me do this before, we can just put in a bit of highlight, just like that. Easy, easy. There you go. A bit of rock, a bit of rock catching the light, and we can get our script lining brush and make a very thin type of paint, and we could put some mountain grass in like this. Just catching the light maybe. That's easy, effective. You don't. There's not much paint in there, is there? Let's be honest now. Let's be honest with each other. I've not worked hard there, and it doesn't. You don't need to work hard. All you need to do is do a representation of something and just bring in a bit of light here and there like this. Make it look as if there's a massive trees and foliage and all this other stuff there, and you can bring in some light, bring this bit of light colour in, just like as if maybe just catching a little bit of light here and there like that. I don't know, you work it out. I just want to show you ways of doing something, and however you decide, because this is your painting. Whatever you do, this is your painting. Whatever you decide, you might want to do something different. I'm just showing you a way of maybe just using paint in a nice easy fashion rather than struggling and worrying about things. All I want you to do is just have fun and paint. My channel is about painting. It's not about selling lessons and going out and selling works of art and things like this. This is about relaxation and mental health, and that's all I want to try and show on this channel, is paintings as simple as that. Now if you want to see other things, if you want to see things more in detail, if you want to see things more like spirit wolves and things like this, projects like that, then you need to click our join button. You really do, because the membership page, that's where there's a lot more detailed paintings and stuff, and I take a lot more time over the paintings there for you. So please pop along and press the join button if you haven't already done so, and there's live broadcasts as well. But don't forget to click that notification bell, and don't forget to click subscribe if you haven't already subscribed, because that helps the channel grow and it helps me bring more content to you. So until the next time, have a bit of fun with that one. Just slap some paint on there, chill out, relax the mind, have fun, and paint away the stress of everyday life with myself in Wales. Bye.
And don't forget to click